What if everything we knew about life on Earth was turned upside down? Imagine, for a moment, if the Earth just stopped spinning. No more day and night cycles, no more predictable weather patterns, and no more stable gravitational forces. A sudden halt of the Earth's rotation would lead to a chain of catastrophic events, some of which we can barely fathom. In this video, we'll explore the mind-boggling consequences of such an event. What would happen to the atmosphere, the oceans, and life on Earth? Could humanity survive? Stick around as we dive into the science behind a world without a spinning Earth. Before we explore the chaos, let's first understand just how fast Earth is spinning. At the equator, the Earth rotates at an astonishing speed of about 1,000 miles per hour. That's roughly the same as a supersonic jet. However, the rotational speed isn't the same everywhere on the planet. As you move toward the poles, the speed of the Earth's spin decreases dramatically, and at the poles themselves, there is virtually no rotational speed at all. This difference in speed plays a critical role in the effects of Earth stopping its spin. It's a fascinating and important detail when we think about what would happen if that motion suddenly came to a halt. The immediate effects of the Earth stopping its rotation would be nothing short of catastrophic. First, imagine the shockwave that would ripple across the planet. Anything that isn't firmly anchored, buildings, trees, cars, even people, would be sent hurtling eastward at incredible speeds. With the Earth's spin abruptly stopping, this momentum would unleash a wave of destruction, equivalent to an unimaginable force. Next, tsunamis and earthquakes would devastate the planet. The sudden halt of the Earth's rotation would cause massive tectonic shifts, resulting in earthquakes of unprecedented magnitude. Meanwhile, the oceans, which are also moving at the Earth's original speed, would be sent crashing toward land, generating massive tsunamis that would wipe out entire coastal cities. Finally, the atmosphere itself wouldn't stop moving immediately. As the planet's crust comes to a halt, the atmosphere would continue to rush eastward at speeds of up to 1,000 miles per hour, causing winds strong enough to uproot forests, level cities, and create a near-apocalyptic environment. Gravitational effects and weight changes. Another consequence of the Earth stopping its spin would be a dramatic change in how gravity works, particularly at the equator. Normally, the Earth's rotation creates a centrifugal force that slightly counteracts gravity. This force is what makes you feel a little lighter at the equator, as it pushes you outward. But without the Earth spinning, that centrifugal force disappears, and gravity would feel stronger. At the equator, this means people, animals, and objects would weigh slightly more. You'd feel a shift in the way gravity pulls you toward the Earth, and it would be more noticeable in areas near the equator than at the poles. While the change in weight wouldn't be extreme, the subtle increase could have a long-term impact on both human biology and global ecosystems. If the Earth stopped spinning, the concept of a 24-hour day-night cycle would be forever shattered. One half of the planet would remain in constant daylight, exposed to the sun for months on end, while the other half would be plunged into a perpetual night. Without rotation, there would be no transition between day and night, and the length of time each side is exposed to sunlight would depend on the tilt of the Earth's axis. This radical shift would have profound effects on ecosystems. On the sunlit side, temperatures would soar to extreme levels, creating unbearable conditions for life. Deserts and forests would bake under unrelenting sunlight, pushing wildlife and plants to the brink of extinction. Meanwhile, the dark side of the Earth would become an icy, frozen wasteland, with temperatures plummeting to unimaginable lows, making survival nearly impossible for most organisms. Humans would also face extreme challenges. The regions caught in eternal daylight might experience constant heat waves, forcing cities and agricultural zones to adapt or perish. In contrast, areas stuck in perpetual darkness could experience severe cold, and without the normal day-night rhythm, sleep patterns and health would be severely disrupted. The sudden halt of Earth's rotation would trigger an immediate and drastic shift in the global climate. Weather patterns that we rely on for survival, such as the jet streams, ocean currents, and wind systems, would become completely unpredictable. With the Earth no longer rotating, the Coriolis effect, which is responsible for the movement of winds and ocean currents, would disappear, causing a chaotic shift in global weather. On the day side, the sun's heat would accumulate, creating a scorching climate. Temperatures could climb to over 200 degrees Fahrenheit in some regions, leading to widespread desertification and the collapse of agricultural systems. Water resources would dry up as evaporation rates soar, leaving many regions uninhabitable. On the night side, however, temperatures would plummet. Without sunlight to warm the surface, the Earth would cool rapidly, and within days most of the planet would be covered in ice. This extreme temperature difference between the two hemispheres would create intense atmospheric instability, likely leading to catastrophic weather events such as violent storms, hurricanes, and possibly even tornadoes. The long-term impact on ecosystems would be catastrophic. The ability of species to adapt to such a dramatic shift in environmental conditions would be limited. While some creatures might be able to survive extreme heat or cold, the vast majority of life would be unable to cope with the rapidly changing climate. Entire ecosystems, forests, oceans, and wetlands would collapse, creating a domino effect that disrupts the food chain and threatens the survival of humanity itself. Over time, both the oceans and the atmosphere would begin to adjust to the new stationary Earth. Initially, the ocean currents, which are driven by the Earth's rotation, would stop, leading to a breakdown of the current systems that regulate temperature and moisture across the globe. Without the Coriolis effect, which currently causes the rotation of wind patterns, we would see unpredictable weather events that could shift drastically. Ocean waters would redistribute themselves, forming massive stagnant bodies of water in some areas and possibly creating new currents in others. This shift could lead to the formation of huge new storm systems, flooding, or prolonged droughts in regions that had previously been temperate. As for the atmosphere, the air would eventually adjust to the loss of the Earth's rotational momentum. However, this would take a significant amount of time, and during that period, weather systems could become more erratic, with violent winds, massive storms, and atmospheric instability becoming the new norm. Geologically, the Earth itself would begin to change. The centrifugal force created by the Earth's spin currently has a slight outward push on the planet's equatorial region. Without this force, the Earth would begin to shrink slightly around the middle, causing the planet to become more spherical. The loss of this force would also impact the Earth's tectonic plates, potentially accelerating or altering plate movements. We could see more volcanic activity, earthquakes, and changes in the structure of the Earth's crust as it adjusts to the new balance. As Earth's environment drastically shifts, the survival of life, human, animal, and plant, would be severely tested. Life on Earth has evolved to thrive in a world that rotates, creating a day-night cycle, predictable weather patterns, and a stable climate. The sudden disappearance of these factors would be devastating. For humans, the absence of the day-night cycle would throw our biological clocks into chaos. Without a regular cycle of light and darkness, sleep patterns would be disrupted, leading to widespread health problems like insomnia and stress. Additionally, agriculture would suffer immensely. Plants rely on a regular rhythm of day and night for photosynthesis, and without this balance, crop growth could become nearly impossible, leading to food shortages and mass starvation. The regions stuck in constant daylight or darkness would face unique challenges, with some areas experiencing uninhabitable heat, while others would freeze over. Wildlife too would struggle to adapt. Many species rely on the predictable cycles of day and night for hunting, mating, and migration. Without those cycles, animals may not be able to find food, mate, or survive. The loss of ecosystems, such as forests, oceans, and wetlands, would cause a collapse of food chains, pushing species to the brink of extinction. Plants would face similar challenges. While some might survive in constant daylight, others would not be able to cope with perpetual darkness. The loss of forests and plant life would further destabilize the atmosphere, reducing oxygen levels and increasing carbon dioxide. In conclusion, if the Earth were to stop spinning, the results would be catastrophic and far-reaching. From immediate shockwaves, tsunamis, and earthquakes, to long-term temperature extremes and the breakdown of ecosystems, life as we know it would be unrecognizable. The loss of the Earth's rotation would disrupt the fundamental forces that sustain life on our planet: day-night cycles, stable climates, and predictable weather patterns, leading to widespread destruction and extinction. But what do you think? How do you imagine life would change in this new stationary Earth? Could humanity adapt, or would we fall victim to nature's wrath? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you have any other what-if scenarios you'd like us to explore, don't forget to share them. Make sure to subscribe for more mind-blowing what-if scenarios.